Hello everyone. So, another collective. I did say in my last video that I wanted to kind of do a few different things. So I'm going with star signs today. So I'm thinking we'll go through each individual star sign, starting with Aries, because we are in Aries season. It's probably going to be long, so this might end up being on YouTube, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, sun, moon and rising, you know, take what resonates. There could be a message in multiple signs for you. You know, we do have quite a few different impacts when it comes to our chart, like things that impact us. I always resonate quite heavily with my moon sign, so bear that in mind. Right, so Aries season is an interesting one. We've just come out of, yet again, Pisces season. I know I'm mentioning it like yet again, a difficult Pisces season, and it feels like for some the energies are picking up, but I do feel like because we are in an interesting season in terms of we've got eclipses, retrogrades, blah blah blah, not going to go on about it too much. It does feel like for this collective of Aries, Arians, or anyone that resonates with this reading in general, it does feel like you're feeling into some of that eclipse energy. Now, bear in mind you've got the eclipse on Saturday, so energies are ramping up. I'm hearing people that are important to you. So what I'm channeling basically with this group is that you guys are feeling a little bit testy, like potentially you might be taking it out on people around you, because we do have apology needed, be supportive, and then we've also got the Five of Cups, and what I'm looking at more than anything is portal here, which we are in a port, like, you know, we're in a time of where there's lots of portals opening up to grow and heal. And what that kind of promotes straight away when we've got eclipses, when we've got retrogrades, is, like I say, opportunities to heal, but it makes you release, it brings things up to the surface. So I feel like this group of people are getting triggered quite heavily, and I'm hearing deep wounding as well. So for some in this group, if you're an Aries, and it's because we're in Aries season, or if you've got an Aries moon, Aries rising, even an Aries Mercury, you might be thinking, oh my god, like I am really feeling these energies and it's shocking, like I'm just snapping at everybody, I'm not in the mood. Like, I feel like more significantly you might be seeing this this wounding present itself, and this like kind of it's an emotion. I don't want to say it's anger, because I don't think it is. I think it's frustration. But you might be seeing this with somebody who you're in a relationship with, or who you've got a connection with. So if you resonate with the twin flame journey, you might be seeing it with your counterpart. You might be seeing them mirror stuff back to you. I just feel like this group's quite triggered. We've got Six of Wands, and we've got Strength, and we've got Star. So just know that things are going to be changing, and I feel like right now the energy is very, very intense for you guys, and you probably are feeling into it, and it's like, oh, do you know, like I just need a break. What I'm channeling more than anything with this group is just an emotional, like, it's a sense of emotion, it's a sense of feeling like you need someone to comfort you. You need someone, you're not feeling supported in this group. I don't feel like this group of Aries are feeling like they're being supported by the person that they love or by people that they care about. They might feel like they're lacking some empathy, and I feel like it's coming across as you being angry or being a little bit stroppy at times, because you are snapping, because you're under a lot of pressure. So I think the advice for this is to try and you know, be mindful of what you're saying to people, because I think you're being quite reactive, and people are going, oh, like they're doing the opposite of what you want them to do. I feel like you're being reactive because you want them to go, oh my God, are you okay? But they're not doing that because they obviously haven't got that awareness. And I feel like that's a lesson maybe for you to speak up a little bit. We are in Mercury retrograde. Communication gets twisted. Communication isn't always great. And I do feel like as well, with Mercury retrograde, you tend to clear the upper chakras, so your throat chakra. So I do feel like for this Aries collective, you might be thinking, oh my God, like they're not getting it. But what it is you're not expressing yourself. You're not this is your lesson in being honest. This is your lesson in being vulnerable. Like you need to feel heard, so you need to speak. Basically, you need to say, like, you need to maybe not take it out on people, not necessarily take it out on people, but it's just you're going about it the wrong way. That's the message that I'm getting. And Spirit's saying to speak up, tell them, assert yourself, but say it in a way that is diplomatic and that's going to have some kind of productive outcome at the end of it, not leave you feeling frustrated and angry and leave them wondering what happened. Like that's the vibe I'm getting. So let's move on to Taurus. I do feel like this is probably going to be a YouTube jobby because it does seem like I'm getting quite heavy messages. Right, so Taurus is straight away, you are being confined by something and feeling bound to something. This, interestingly, could be a marriage or commitment. So this could be a message for some that are maybe in karmic relationships. I'm hearing floods of tears. Floods of tears. So for this, oh yeah, okay. Right, for this group, it does appear like you guys are stuck in a situation, a karmic cycle that's not serving you, potentially with a karmic person, or potentially in separation with a connection. So take what resonates. But it does feel like you've been quite emotional about this person recently, maybe more emotional than you would normally be, because we have got the moon and we have got the Four of Cups. So there's a lot of sadness here. There's a lot of longing. It is to do with some kind of romantic relationship, some kind of romantic commitment. And I feel like you've really struggled. This Taurus collective has lost their sense of how to have fun and how to be light-hearted because they've been so burdened by this connection or what's going on here, that they've just lost a lot of themselves. And I feel like for you guys, you need to connect to your inner child a little bit more. Have fun. You are stuck here. Whatever's going on here in this connection, this situation, you are stuck. You are stuck in a loop. But with the Eight of Swords, it's often about keeping yourself stuck. So there's something you could do to move away from it. It's just that you feel trapped right now. We've got carrying baggage, improved communication. So again, that could be a little bit of a theme here because, we had it with Aries as well, talking about throat chakra, speaking up, that kind of thing. So Mercury retrograde, that's going to bring that up. That if there's any kind of communication issues, Mercury retrograde is going to highlight them. So you might be experiencing that too, to a degree, Taurus. We've got comparing options, and then we've got twin flame. So it could be twin flame connection, or it could be preparing you for a twin flame connection, whatever's going on here. Like if it's a karmic connection you're in, but together with these two cards together, we've got 11-11. So I did want to point that out. 11-11 might be a sign that you're seeing a lot of at the moment. But yeah, I do feel like you are. What I'm channeling here with these two cards is that you, for some, there is a twin flame connection in situ, and you are deciding whether it's gonna manifest into more at this point. So I do feel like there's a lot of hurt here in this person. Again, I was hearing from Spirit floods of tears. So Tauruses that this resonates with, you may have been overly emotional recently, or more emotional than you usually would be. I do feel a sense of struggle for sure here. We've also got Find You Sexy as well. So, I'm struggling with this card, but I do feel like it's an attraction with somebody that potentially you can't deny, and that you've struggled, and maybe at times you might have thought, well, I'm just very, very attracted to this person, but you might be deepening that and realising it's more than that because you are emotional as well. I do feel as like as well, you maybe at times might wish that person wasn't someone you found so attractive, because it might make it easier to move on in certain ways. But yeah, so Taurus, what have we got next? Gemini. Let's see what's coming up for Geminis. We've got a few already popping out, and I'm getting a vibe that these Geminis are fighting transformation in some way. They are fighting against something. So it feels like these Geminis, again, I might be channeling, it could be again a twin flame connection or a high level soulmate connection, but either way, you are being asked to transform in some way within this connection. So it's got spiritual kind of growth written all over it. And because we have transformation in reverse, I do feel like you're fighting against it, you're fighting against the current, because you're not ready, or there's something going on. It just feels like it feels like a bit of ego. It feels like a bit of ego, but Spirit's saying to me, test. So you are being tested, you are being pressured. We've got faithful, and what that is saying to me is you are being faithful to your old ways. So you are not releasing, you are not wanting to change, you are trying to kind of stay in a stuck energy, which is quite unusual for Gemini, because Gemini is usually pretty fluid. It's a mutual sign. Like Gemini can be quite transformational as a sign, but I do feel like because we're in a Mercury retrograde and Mercury is your ruler, potentially you are going like, oh no, like it's just a stagnant energy, it's a stuck energy. And I think that maybe it will be, this energy will be relinquished once Mercury retrograde settles down. Like you might find that you flow a little bit more because we've got freedom needed. So I do feel like that's coming. It is a soulmate or a twin flame connection. It's a high level transformative connection. You don't believe that they're going to come back. Like that's what's striking me as quite obvious. You are not believing in the signs. You are saying to yourself, I've had it, I've been in separation, I've been in no contact for so long, I don't believe that this person's coming back, I've got to move on, which that is fine, absolutely fine. But I feel like the way that you're playing through that in your head is a stubbornness to change and a stubbornness to grow. Like, because what's happening is you are getting lessons thrown at you, and I think you realise this, but you're like, it's not fair. It's almost like spitting your dummy out the pram kind of, or chucking your toys out the pram kind of vibes is what I'm getting. We have got childlike behaviour, and we've got the lovers. So again, indicating it is about a connection. And also it's funny because with Gemini, this is Gemini's card as well. So, you know, I don't feel like you really are tapping into your heart space at the moment. You are very much in your head, which, do you know what? Like, okay, you're an air sign at the end of the day. That's probably going to happen quite frequently. We're in Mercury retrograde. Like, benefit of the doubt, Gemini, if you are in a bit of ego, not completely normal. Like, I honestly, no judgment, we all go there, we all do it. And I feel like you're probably having a really hard time with these energies because we've got Pisces season. Gemini is not an emotional sign. It's a logic-based sign. So we've had a really rough ride in Pisces season, eclipses, and then a Mercury retrograde, which has put your planet, your own planet, your ruler, into a tiswiz. So I do feel like, let's give Gemini the benefit of the doubt here in this instance. You're just having some healing coming up to cycle out and move through, and you know, it's maybe got you not really understanding what your own truth is or what you align to. I feel like for these Geminis that are watching this reading, you may have got tons and tons and tons of signs about this connection. You might know what it is, and you might usually be in your knowing with it, but for some reason you've been spun out about it because something's happened that's triggered you, and you're just feeling triggered and you wanted to walk away. And that's, you know, that's obviously the way you need to go down right now. Like, you need to honour your feelings and flow with it because it will teach you something, but there is a need to ground your energy slightly, because I feel like it's a little bit more, it's more over the top than what you would normally be in alignment with. So I do feel like it's not really you, and you're not really enjoying how you're acting. It's not part of who you are. I'm not saying it's bad, but the fact is it's not part of your soul blueprint, so it's making you spin out even more because you're like, I don't really like this new side to me, but I'm really feeling like this. So there's a bit of confusion there as well. Let's go on to Cancer. What's coming up for Cancers? Right, we've got quite a few things. We've got karmic influences. We've got competition in reverse. We've got end. Oh, this is so interesting. This is so interesting, Cancers. Oh, again, I'm getting twin flamey, soulmatey vibes. I'm getting you are potentially the twin flame or the high level soulmate, and you have got a counterpart who's in a karmic connection. That is coming to an end, and my crown chakra is buzzing and I've got chills everywhere. Your counterpart, your divine masculine or divine feminine, divine counterpart, has gone through hell and back with this karmic, and now that karmic is basically making their way out. And I'm hearing out like they might have even left your counterpart, if I'm being honest, because I feel like they've had such a difficult ride in this connection. They've both basically wound each other up. They've drove each other around the bend. And we've got a singles card, so this person's newly single. Your counterpart's newly single. Potentially you're newly single as well, if it resonates that way. But I do feel like it's more about a counterpart than it is about you in a relationship that you've ended. However, it could also be that you've ended a karmic connection with somebody, and that you've decided to move on from that. And we've got 8 of Wands energy, so it's sudden energy. I'm hearing healing as well, so there is some need for some healing here. Okay, so I am getting 2 kind of narratives here. It's quite strange. Like, I'm getting, for those that resonate with it being your counterpart that's left a karmic situation, for those of you that resonate with that, you just need to know that these days of heartbreak for you are ending because your counterpart has basically chosen you. You're moving into a place of union. I'm hearing idealised as well though, so do bear in mind it's not going to flow as fast as you think it will, and there is some need for some healing outside of this relationship, like separately. So there may still be some separation. You may not hear about this relationship ending straight away, but you know, it's over, it's done. But there needs to be some karmic kind of settlement happen here with the apology needed, because I feel like this pairing have really, really hurt each other at times. And they need to kind of, it's not necessarily that they need to apologise to each other, but they do need to make sure that the karma's not going to follow them outside of the relationship, if you understand what I'm saying. For those that resonate with having ended a karmic relationship, you have done so in a situation that's come about as a bit of a surprise, but there was a codependency with this person that's you've needed to get away from. You've needed to release that codependency there. Just make sure that you're not doing it like for the wrong reasons, because you've got intimacy issues. So I feel like make sure you're doing it for you. If you're ending something with somebody, make sure you are doing it for you and not from a place of I need to one-up this person. There's something about one-upmanship maybe, so just make sure you're not doing it to one-up that person. Make sure it's not a control thing, Spirit's saying to me. So are you doing it because you want to see them chase you? Is that why you're doing it? Are you doing it because you want them to go, oh my God, she's left or he's left, I can't live without them, and then show you their true feelings because they're quite emotionally unavailable? Like, don't do it for that reason. Do it because you are deserving of more, basically. So Leo, let's see what comes up for Leos. What's going on for Leos? Ooh, we got unconditional love. We've got some, okay, right. So we do have some good cards, but we also have a bit of a warning here about this, this solar eclipse that's coming up, this new moon solar eclipse. Okay, I need to get a few more cards, I think, and I might need to clarify some. Right, there is some interesting energy. There's a connection in situ here that is very developed and very much like there's an abundance of love. Basically, this is a connection that will go the distance. This connection is going to go the distance, like whether or not you're in the connection, like in the relationship, or you're in separation. This is something that's going the distance. It's lasting. It's really quite abundant in so many different ways. But what I'm feeling more than anything is that there is such a happiness and such a deep love that's been developed that's almost unstoppable. But we do have something of a little bit of a blip, and it could be within this connection or it could be outside of this connection. I want to say with the Chariot as well, if you're not in this connection, if you are in separation, it's coming around quicker than you think. Like it's going to come into fruition quicker than you think. But this solar eclipse, this new moon solar eclipse, is going to cause some disruption to the connection in some ways. Maybe it's this connection, or maybe it's just your life. But we've got these three cards to clarify that energy. We've got the King of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Wands. So there's somewhat of a lesson, and it could be in relation to communication. So it could be how you discuss things with this person that causes something of a little bit of a row between the two of you. We've got apology needed. So I just feel like there's a miscommunication somewhere along the lines in this connection that neither of you can help, and it's difficult to decipher the energy. It's like basically you've both done something that's been, you've had your hands forced in some ways. You've had your hands forced with something that's out of your control, but you both semi-blame each other. There's like a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe a bit of a blame game going on. Maybe it's like, if you did this, that wouldn't have happened. And it's not necessarily nasty. It's a hurt energy. It's a hurt energy that I'm getting. And I'm hearing let that sink in as well. So I actually feel, Leo, you might have been the one in the wrong, unfortunately. Like there might have been something that you could have done more of, but you maybe didn't have the tools or the capacity to do it at that time. But this person that you have this really amazing connection with is hurt by it, and they're like, do you know what, like, I'm quite surprised you've done this. Like, you've maybe you could have done this and that would, and you do need to apologize to this person. You need to give this person something of an apology. Like, you need to do something because they have been hurt, and it's affected maybe the trust a little bit. So the last card that I've got for Leo in this scenario is the Hanged Man, and on this deck it says patience in action. So there isn't much going on in this connection potentially, or there's not movement in the direction you thought it would go in right now. And that is because there's some, like, this issue that's coming up needs to be resolved, and I feel like for the time being you're going to have to stay in a bit of a standstill in this connection. Like, it's not going to move in the way you want it to, because this needs to be rectified. This needs to be rectified. This needs to be sorted out. So let's see what's going on for Virgo. Right, okay. Ooh, Virgos. Wow. Oh my god. I am loving this. I am loving this, especially since I'm a Virgo. This is even better for me. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Two of Cups. We've got the Six of Cups. So, you know, pretty much three union cards. We've got the Sun. Oh, we've got the Knight of Swords. We've got the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Wow, this is pretty... we've got the Three of Cups, but in this deck it is actually marriage and commitment. So I think we're getting a message of union energy, or something coming into a relationship, coming into situ pretty quickly. Now, the Six of Cups is my twin flame card, so it could be a twin flame connection, but we do also have a soulmate card here as well. So again, high level soulmate, whatever you resonate with. Maybe it's not neither of those, maybe you don't resonate with that at all, but it's a relationship that's been anticipated, let's say, and it's coming around pretty quickly. We've got the Four of Swords, so what that's telling me is, despite the fact that this relationship is very much happening with 4 union cards, very much on its way, it's arrival is what I'm hearing from spirit, so it's really coming round pretty quickly. Despite that, we do have a bit of a continuation of a separation for the two of you and a rest period. So we've got that. We've got the Four of Swords. We've got a rest period. Enjoy is what Spirit's saying. Enjoy your peace and quiet alone. Enjoy your alone time, Virgo, because Virgos love. They are, I always think of Virgos and I think of myself as like an extroverted introvert. So, you know, enjoy your peace and quiet. Enjoy the separation out of this relationship. And I know it sounds ridiculous to say enjoy that, because if it's something that you've been pining after, obviously you're going to want it. But when you do get together, it's going to be full on, and it's going to happen pretty quickly, because we've got the Knight of Swords, and we've also got the Sun card. The Sun card in this deck always gives vacation vibes, but also it's happiness. It's coming into its completion, and I feel very strongly that this is, for a lot of people, a twin flame connection that's been probably in progress for quite some time. Your separation is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. It's going to end really, really soon. You are going to end up together, and it's lasting as well. Like it is harmonious union. It's marriage. It's commitment. It's lifelong commitment. It's staying together. It's all the good things that you want to hear. And funnily enough, I've also got 2 cards here, and 22, that's my birthday day, and 9, my birth month. So Virgo. But yeah, to address these 2 cards well, we've got Chaser and Work It Out. So this person is going to come for you, and they are going to be a bit of a, I don't want to say chaser, it's not chaser energy, it's, you know, making sure that they give you the respect you deserve, and they court you a little bit. Like, I feel like they're going to charm you, they're going to buy you flowers. And it's funny because I've said that, and then I'm looking at this card here, the Empress, and the people in it are holding flowers out to the Empress. So they're going to woo you. They do see you as like their Empress, and they want to show you what you truly deserve. So next we've got Libra. I don't know if I'm going to have to like maybe divide these videos up, but I feel like it would be a shame now to do so. So yeah, probably just do one long one. Right, Libra. Potentially, right, okay. Got some really good cards here. We've got the Four of Wands, we've got the Three of Cups. You know, these are in this deck union cards, marriage, comfortable home. But we've got slow moving energy, and we've also got the Eight of Cups. So I do want to clarify the Eight of Cups, because I'm like, I don't get the vibe that this person's moving on from a marriage or from a relationship that's stable. But I do get the vibe that they're getting pissed off. So we've got the Fool, which is a leap of faith, and we've got the King of Wands. We've also got the Eight of Wands. Right, okay, so Libra, you might be in a committed relationship. You might be in a relationship that's heading to union. Or you might have a connection that's heading to union. You are getting peed off with slow pace energy. There's some stagnation there. There's some energy that things aren't changing. It could also be to do with business as well, I do feel. And you're getting kind of out of balance with it. Like, you're not being really, again, you're probably not being very level-headed, which is usually more your jam, you know. You're more of a level-headed kind of person. There's some interesting cards coming out here as well. Like, I do feel like we've got some interesting energies. We've got abandoned, freedom needed, an affair, intimacy issues, comparing options, friendship only, the answer is yes. The affair feels like a little bit of a jibe, to be honest, like as if maybe if this is a connection that's not going in the way that you want it to go, you might have said, oh, well, I might as well be having an affair, like, because I'm like, there's nothing going on, like, but I don't feel like that's genuine. I don't feel like that's happening. I don't feel like that's coming in. I feel like that's maybe a little bit of a jerky energy, like something that you've maybe said to them to kind of spare them on a little bit and give them a kick up the bum. Like, there's something they need to do, they're not doing it. Like, it's with friendship only, maybe there's not as much romance as there had been. They might need to kind of reignite that fire a little bit, especially the intimacy issues. And I feel like you're again saying to them, like, look, come on, because what's going on? Like, we've not had like a date night for years. Can we get something together? Can you pull it out the bag for me? Can you, like, but you're doing it the wrong way. You're going about it the wrong way. Like, you're sounding like a nag. I hate to say it, but to this person, you are like, oh my God, she's nagging me again. Or, oh my God, he's nagging. Like, you're sounding like a nag. You're not really, you need to change your pace. You need to change your attitude towards it and just have a calm conversation with him. Say, like, look, let's talk about our feelings, because I think what you're doing is you're trying to express it. Similar to Aries, you're trying to express your feelings, but you're not getting heard because the person that you're directing this energy at, your partner, is like, hold on a minute, like, you're just nagging at me now. Like, you're nagging at me and it's not the right method. Tell me how you really feel. Tell me what you really want. Like, have a calm conversation. Like, the way I'm seeing it is, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it is a lesson. And the thing is, toddlers and kids can teach us a lot about how we communicate. Because when I communicate with my son, who's 2, instead of getting angry and frustrated because he's 2 and he doesn't understand, I sit him down and I say, right, shall we have a chat? Like, tell me what's going on. Why don't you want to do that? Tell me what you feel. And it sounds like telling someone how to suck an egg, but it's an obvious thing to say, but it's harder to do it in the moment when you're angry and when you've got emotions running around. So I feel like you maybe Libra, you might have to adopt a little bit of that, like, act like your partner's a toddler. You need to treat your partner like a child. No, in all seriousness, I do feel like you might need to just sit them down and be like, really calm, gentle partnering is what springs to mind. Instead of gentle parenting, gentle partnering, because for some reason this person's not hearing you, and I feel like it is because you're doing it the wrong way. And you're getting frustrated and they're getting frustrated, and really it's an easy solve. It's just that you need to be more vulnerable and they need to be more vulnerable too, and, you know, show a little bit more emotion. So, right, let's go on to Scorpio. What is going on with Scorpio? We have got a few cards. There's something going on, definitely. Okay, it feels like it could be a separation. It could be a separation, or it could be you worrying about a separation. We've got freedom needed, fearful, apology. We've got transformation, catching feelings, and feeling nervous. So, yeah, I'm getting that this person is, there's a separation in situ potentially. We've got, again, a karmic influence. And a fieriness, a fiery demeanour, like a spicy temper. I feel like, Scorpio, you've pushed somebody too far. Like, you've pushed somebody too far with something, and it is your emotions, ultimately. It's your temperament or your emotions, one or the other. So either you're being a little bit clingy with the person, and they are kind of getting to a place where they're like, do you know what, like, I need to draw a line here. Like, it's not it's not going any further. Like, I can't do this with you anymore. Like, there's been a threat of ending the situation, whatever the situation is. So I feel like you've either been a bit too clingy and a bit too, like, holding on to somebody tightly, or you've been a bit angry and you've taken it too far. The thing is, Scorpios are intense, and there's a lot of intense energies here. And it's funny because we've got, like, almost like a duality of, on one side, you've got this real, like, loving, intense energy, and this, like, I'll give you everything, I'll give everything to you all the time. And then on the other side, you've got, like, the hermit energy, which is distancing yourself and going cold and not. And I feel like that's a sadness. That's not really dealing with. That's something that you're using as a coping mechanism, is going into this hermit mode and, like, shutting down and stuff. And it's interesting because the energies of the person whose energy I'm feeling feels very vulnerable. Like, this person feels very vulnerable. Like, it feels like you are nervous that your partner's going to end things. There has been a threat of ending things, I do feel, and that's why you are feeling nervous. Like, you're like, oh God, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to carry on. I'm hearing motivation. So this person might have said to you, I need motivation to stay here because you're not giving me it. I feel like you've been given an ultimatum by somebody who you're in a connection with, who you're seeing, who you're in a relationship with. And they have said, I need some motivation. Now, we have got faithful, which is interesting because, you know, that could have been something of an issue that's happened in your relationship that's caused some dramas, or but I don't get a cheating vibe with it, very funnily enough. And it could even be that you're unbelievably loyal to this person, and that is something that you're feeling quite angry about because they're not showing the same levels of loyalty. And it's something that's, like, maybe triggered you a little bit and kind of caused this issue in the dynamic. But it does feel like I'm hearing snowed under. So you are feeling like maybe there's a lot of pressure. It's finding that balance is my advice to you. Finding some balance here, because obviously there's been some issues, and because of the way that you probably are very intensely all or very intensely nothing, it doesn't help to navigate the situation. So if you can find a midway point, that could be where you find success. So let's see about Sagittarius. What's going on in the world of Sagland? We've got, like, something that's quite promising of an energy here with Sagittarius, and I'm feeling like sparks of creativity and intuition and genuinely, like, just having ideas left, right and centre. Like, you might be really motivated, Spirit's saying as well right now, to make some business moves and some business ventures, but you're imbalanced. And do you know what, does that not surprise you? Because it doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me. Like, there's an imbalanced energy of, like, you're giving too much to it. Like, you found something that you're finding a lot of joy from, and you're just ploughing all your energy into it. Like, you've made it your personality. So whatever that is, you've made it your personality, and Spirit's saying opening layers. Like, you know, try not to be such a crackpot about it, and just, like, go, right, okay, I need to put this project down now and have some me time. I need to stop talking about it to everybody that I meet, because people are, like, bored. Like, it's funny because Sag is so interesting, but, and so such fun people, but I feel like when they get real passionate about something, they can really let it consume them. Like, it's that obsessive energy. But you are nurturing your baby, so to speak, and I do feel like it's a business, and it's something that you're building up to, funnily enough, as well, because it's like, I feel for some people it could be something that you've not launched yet, and there's, like, a build up to it, and it could even be something you're studying, and there's just, like, a massive amount of excitement about it, and you do have a lot of abundance coming from this. But in the meantime, I feel like everyone's like, can you just stop talking about it? Can you just, like, go watch a film? Like, chill out. Stop doing your project. Stop working on whatever it is you're working on. Go watch a film and chill out. Go, like, get out, go outside. Enjoy the spring. Enjoy the spring sunshine. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, you've not got the balance, and that needs to be found a little bit. So where are we next? Capricorns. Oh, dearie me. God, I'm out of breath. I know that much. Like, I think if I do this again, it's definitely going to have to be smaller videos. It's like, note to self, I talk too much. Funnily enough, Capricorn, I feel like I'm getting a similar kind of vibe as Sag, like, that there's some kind of work commitment. I'm not necessarily feeling like a new project. I'm feeling like work. I'm also getting that there's something going on at work for you guys, and it could be either that you're, oh, right, okay, so interestingly enough, it's either that there's like a boss or a colleague that you are not vibing with that's causing you a little bit of a ruckus, and it's like, oh God, what, like, you may be stressed about it. You may be quite stressed about their opinions. They potentially could be picking things apart. They could be, I don't think that they're being, I feel like you're being sensitive. You're being sensitive to it. Like, I don't think this person has it out for you. It just feels like they maybe are targeting you a little bit more because you may be working in close proximity, or there's something that you've done that's stressing them out, and it's giving them a little bit of like a chip on the shoulder. But they don't dislike you. You just feel like that, and it's making your self-confidence like a little bit on the lower side. Like, you kind of need to like not take it so personally, I feel, because I do think that it's not really a reflection of you. It's maybe a little bit more that I do think they've got a bit of a bad attitude towards things at times. I don't think they're nasty. I'm not getting that. I just feel like they maybe could do things in a better way sometimes. Like, if they get frustrated with certain things, I feel like they could express it better. They're not expressing it in a very nice way. I feel like you want them to like you, and that hurts you more because it's like golden retriever energy is what I'm getting. Like, you really want this person to like you, and you don't think they do, so you're getting a little bit upset about it. But you need to let it go. You need to let it go. You need to not worry about what they think about you, because it's really not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. And I feel like whatever reason it is that you want this person to like you, whether it's because they're your boss and you want approval, or if it's a colleague that you just have a closeness with or had a closeness with, I feel like you need to let go, because Spirit's testing you with this one. It does feel like a massive test, and it's a test to build so that you can build yourself back up. Because one of the things that happens quite frequently when we are being tested or trained or being given lessons is we get knocked down in order to rise again. So this is a version of that. Now, it's a small version, it's a minute version, but this is again something that Spirit does. Spirit makes sure that you get the lessons that you're ready for. And if you've got a bit of a low self-confidence or low self-esteem, this is a good way of poking at it and saying, right, there's the problem, now I need to solve it without it being too detrimental to your, like, how you are and how your emotional well-being is, if you understand what I'm saying. So I do feel like it's a test, so try to just not let it get to you so much. Now, Aquarius, let's see what's going on with Aquarians. Aquarians seem to be coming into some kind of little bit of a bossy energy. It's funny because my son's an Aquarius, and I have noticed recently that he's absolutely been earning himself. He's been earning his, like, he's been in his kind of like demanding era, let's say. He's in his demanding era, and I feel like this is actually like a bit of a collective movement for Aquarians. Like, there's something about potentially that you've had maybe some insecurities highlighted previously in previous months. You've maybe followed a path. Spirit's saying followed footsteps. So interestingly, I do think that potentially you've maybe been a bit of a product of your environment in some way when it comes to your parenting or parentage or your friendships, and somebody's called you out on it, and it's maybe been a bit like, oh, do you know what, like, oh, I don't really like that, like, and you've actually thought, you know what, I need to change something here. And it could have been that you are less assertive for some, which is funny because I do find Aquarians quite assertive usually, but for some I feel like you've maybe not been as assertive as you could be, and somebody's maybe mentioned it, and you're like, you know, it's been highlighted to you in some way anyway, and you're like, okay then. And it's like you've gone the complete opposite way, because we've got Queen of Swords energy, we've got Empress energy, we've got this Four of Pentacles, but in this situation here, it's stability and status. We've got death with the transformation, like, we've got build the foundations, freedom needed. Like, you have just gone, do you know what? Okay, so if you don't think I'm assertive enough, I will be assertive. And you've broke the mold and you've completely transformed your energy. And it's maybe a little bit high maintenance, it's maybe a little bit demanding, but ultimately it's to serve a purpose. And I feel like there's people around you going, like, they're just jaw drops, like, what the fuck kind of thing, like, because it's just such a swift transformation. But Spirit's saying, okay, yeah, we see you, good work, but maybe now soften it a little. So there is something, like, what you're doing, yeah, absolutely, like, you do obviously have a point and you've made it, like, point well made, but now we need to, like, soften the edges a little bit, because you are being a little bit sharp, a little bit cutting, a little bit, like, intense. So finally, last but not least, Pisces. Where are Pisces at, especially after this hideous Pisces season that we've all had? Right, okay, just feel like you felt a little bit renewed. Oh god, okay, Pisces, you've gone on vacation. You've got Pisces have left the room. Pisces are like, do you know what, screw you guys, I'm signing out, I'm hiding away in my room for a bit. I do feel like Pisces have probably had a bit of a rough journey this Pisces season, and even still going into Aries season, you've probably had a bit of a rough ride. And I do feel like some of you, it's had to be a bit like buckle up buttercup, and you've had to put your mask on and put a happy face on, put a bit of a brave face on and show the world you're okay, when really you're not. You're kind of like, oh god, I am really not okay. But ultimately I do feel like you have gone into the hermit's cave and said, I'm not socializing for a month after this Pisces season. Like, I do feel like you've needed to take a break, because a lot's come through for you to learn from. You've had lots of activations, lots of connection to source at times. You've had to put on a brave face and mask up, and you're just like, you know what, no, I'm not, I'm resting now, I need to take in and integrate some of these lessons that I've learned, and I need to sit with them and process. You need to take a breather. You need to slow down your pace, slow down your work pace. You need to breathe, and you need to sit with the transformations that's come up. And Spirit's saying focus as well. So you've got too many distractions. You've had too many distractions, so you're slowing everything down, which is interesting, because Pisces season would have been more stereotypically the time to do that, because it's been so, like, intense, that's not been something that many have been able to do. So Aries season, you know, that's action based, that's like spring, that's, you know, renewal. But in this situation, Aries season, you're going, do you know what, no, I'm taking the time out, I'm retreating, I'm going back into my room. We've got discovery period and spiritual connection, so this is a spiritual transformation that you're undergoing, and it might not be something you ideally thought you would be doing. I think you thought you'd be having more fun and you know, enjoying life a little bit more, but ultimately it's what you need that reflection time. You need to process what's come up, process what you need to heal. So that is all I've got, guys. Thank you for sticking with me, if you stuck with me through this long video, and I will next time not do it in one video. So yeah, thanks for watching.